Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another an episode of Sports Extra. I'm your host, Haqqani, and we're coming up with some amazing news from the world of cricket as well. And Pakistan's cricket team is all set as they have managed to do the practice sessions in New Zealand. The whole new team, the whole new platform. T20s, and then comes the one-day internationals. We'll be talking about that. First off, the Pakistan tour of New Zealand, that the Pakistani team and the T20 squad has arrived in Christchurch. The team will start the practice sessions from tomorrow. The first T20 will be played in Christchurch on 16th of March, and the ODI series will begin in Napier on the March 29th. Salman Ali Agha, as we all know, is going to be leading the brand new team. And if we talk about the team, Pakistan's Salman Ali Agha, the vice captain that was, is now the captain of the T20s. Shadab Khan, the earlier vice captain, is coming back in the same role as the vice captain. Then Abdul Samad, Abrar Ahmad, Haris Rauf, Hassan Nawaz, Jahandad Khan, Khushdil Shah is back, and Muhammad Abbas Afridi, Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Haris. That's what I was looking forward to. He should have been in the ODI squad as well. Then we have Muhammad Irfan Khan, Umair bin Yusuf, Shaheen Shah Afridi is there as well, and Sufyan Muqim and Usman Khan. So two major players, Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam, not being in the team. Then of course we move on to some other news, that is the National T20 Cup that is also aligned, that is to be coming very soon, and the tournament starts from tomorrow. 18 teams from 16 regions of Pakistan will be participating in the event, and that will be held in Faisalabad. So very important news coming from there as well, that Faisalabad, Lahore and Multan would be the three venues. Then we have the final that is to be played in Faisalabad on March the 27th. Very exciting to see that this time around, the National T20 Cup would be very much important for all the teams that are participating, so that we can do some paperwork before we go towards the T20 World Cup in the next year. We'll be coming back after a short break. Stay tuned to Sports Extra. Welcome back to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahson Haqqani, and we've been joined by some amazing guests today. And we've got a sports commentator with us. We've got a sports expert with us. His name is Kunnumal, and he's Kunnumal Asif. Welcome to the show, Kunnumal.
Thank you, buddy. Nice to see you.
Absolute pleasure to have you on the show all together. And then we have Mohammad Owais joining us via Skype. Owais, always a pleasure to have you on the show. How's it going?
All good going on. How are you? Assalamu alaikum, Asif bhai, and you both.
Walaikum assalam, and congratulations, Owais, on your another success.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been ecstatic when it comes to sports management. He's been everywhere, whether it be football, whether it be cricket. Mohammad Owais is
and
the name.
whether it be predictions toward cricket, you know.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful to always have him. Anyway, we're going to move towards the Pakistan's tour after the terrible tournament that Pakistan had as a team, not as the tournament. The tournament was a success for PCB, and the ICC has also praised the PCB and all the people who are involved in the massive tournament. Now comes the time of the T20s, the very important T20s led by Salman Ali Agha himself, and Shadab Khan coming back in the team. Babar Azam not being there, Mohammad Rizwan isn't there anymore as well. Kunnumal, let's start off with you. The two important key players not being there, Salman Ali Agha leading the side, Shadab Khan not proving himself to be an ecstatic player or proving himself in the domestic circuit, but then again being in the team as the vice captain. Talk about it.
Well, Ahsan, I think that let's start talking about that what happened in T20 World Cup in USA. We lost against USA and we lost against India. And then, of course, that Pakistan was out. We didn't qualify for the next round in the T20 World Cup. Then we have started an operation, a surgery. Babar Azam being dropped from T20s. And we have watched that a new team and a new management, and Pakistan Cricket Board has taken a decision against Wahab Riaz. Wahab Riaz was the assistant manager for the very first time in the cricket history in the Pakistan, and he was the chief selector as well. He was removed by the Mohsen Naqvi, and then we brought some new selectors, including Aqib Javed. Then we had Azhar Ali. Earlier we had some more guys. But now Abdul Razak, Asad Shafiq, and Aleem Dar, Hassan Chima, these four guys, they were the responsible to select a team for ICC Champions Trophy. Unfortunately, Pakistan didn't play well. And if you ask question why, because we didn't prepare well. And that's why Pakistan team was struggling against quality side like New Zealand, like India, and we were out from the Champions Trophy. Now the new outing, new tournament, and new beginning. What we have learned, actually the answer is no. Rizwan, skipper of the ODI, he used to say, I whether learn or lose. Or win, sorry.
It's either win or either learn for him.
Yes.
Too much learning, time to unlearn.
Well, the problem is that the Pakistan Cricket Board is not taking the right steps. And the right step is that if you are bringing your raw talent from domestic cricket who are playing well or performing well, but in the international cricket, if you are just calling players from right before the tournament, right before the some days of the tournament, then I think that you cannot produce good results. And it happened with the Pakistan cricket team. Now Pakistan will play 5 T20s and 3 ODIs, and Salman Ali Agha will be the skipper. From nowhere, Shadab Khan, you will watch him as a vice captain. I think it happens only in Pakistan cricket team. In 2015, Pakistan lost a World Cup, and the very next tour was against the Bangladesh. Azhar Ali was in the part of the ODI squad, but in the very next outing for the Bangladesh, Azhar Ali was the skipper. These decisions always hurt your performances. To be honest, that if you ask me this squad, I don't want to see Rizwan and Babar much in ODI cricket as well. Why? Because next year we'll have T20 cricket. If Babar Azam is not the part of T20 cricket, just tell him that you are no more in T20 side. We don't want to give you chances in T20 World Cup. So you can use these new players as your bench strength. Umar bin Yusuf is there. Everybody is talking about Hassan Nawaz, a guy all the way from Laya. If you see his journey, the way he's playing, the way he's performing all the way, I think that he's a brilliant talent. And now you're getting chance. Hassan Nawaz, Umar bin Yusuf, already he remained the part of T20 squad. He played couple of matches as well. I like his intent. One question I would like to ask you and Owais, that why Usman Khan again and again? Why?
Yes.
Give me the reason. I think I do
Right.
not have.
I've already mentioned that there are certain players who've got a parachute, and we've been talking about it as well, and that's one of those. And then some other players have a written document with them that they show and somehow land up, and some players have a magic wand. So when you talk about Shadab Khan, he probably has a magic wand in his hand, and on the other hand, Shaheen Shah Afridi making sure he's back in the side despite of we've seen what. Now coming to Abbass now. Abbass, you think that it's a totally different format of the game, T20 coming in, and then players like Sufyan Mukim and Shaheen Shah Afridi, Umar bin Yusuf, Usman Khan, Khushdil Shah being there as well, Abrar Ahmad, and Shadab Khan as the vice captain, and then Salman Ali Agha as the captain. Salman Ali Agha might as well somewhat prove to be a good captain, but Shadab Khan being in the side, and again, just as Kundumal mentioned, Usman Khan being there as well. Do you think this side is promising?
See, I mean, I personally wanted some changes in the Pakistan cricket when we unfortunately when we early exited the Champions Trophy. I know it was a different format, and you're entering into a different format now because you're preparing for the T20 World Cup, which is next year. So obviously, you would try your level best to work on the youngsters who can be the part of the Pakistan T20 side. And one thing was good that the Pakistan Cricket Board way earlier started a boot camp. Remember, a hard, I would say, aggressive players boot camp to just monitor them and just to get them prepared for the upcoming T20 World Cup. But when you look at the side, which is being right now playing in New Zealand, if I compare with New Zealand, because New Zealand has have made some new changes. I mean, they have got some new players who will be playing against Pakistan, some new uncapped players. The senior players are getting rested. Whereas if you talk about Pakistan, I personally wanted Shaheen Shah Afridi to literally get rest. Why? I know it's a shorter format. It's a format which suits him. But again, you have played a lot of cricket. psychologically you're under pressure, you're not performing well. So this was the best time. You could have taken some rest, you could have spoken to the Pakistan Cricket Board and just take some rest and just chill out, come back strong with a psychologically strong mind. Uh, Salman Ali Agha being a captain of Pakistan, I remember when Salman Ali Agha was appointed as a captain, many of them criticized about his averages. Average in T20s around 11 or something, if I'm not wrong, 12 or 11 or something. But if you just look at his captaincy in the Zimbabwe series, he looked a little bit promising, and he has been a good intender for Pakistan in the mid order, especially. But captaincy material is a different thing. Again, if you have made him a captain, stick with him. The biggest problem what Pakistan cricket is still going on. If you just look at the other media, if you just look at anyone, ex-cricketers, they are saying that it's a joke going on in Pakistan cricket. I know you lose the Champions Trophy, again there's a captain change. If you lose Khuda na Khasta in the New Zealand series, again a captain will be changed. This is not the solution. I mean, if you want Rizwan to be the captain, if you want Salman Ali Agha to be the captain, you need to stick around with them. I mean, you need to give them some time. It's not the thing that if anyone is appointed as a captain and you say the next series he wins it, he wins the World Cup for you, it takes time. But the biggest thing, if you just go behind, the selection committee, the management, the whole management, I would say, in the Pakistan Cricket Board really needs to think about the Pakistan cricket. I was just going on through, I mean, the English, I mean, 100 league, which is going to be played. I mean, 45 of your players registered for that league, none of them was picked up. And if I just look at the recent leagues, what Pakistan has played, the Pakistani players, I would say, the foreign leagues, I would say, the CLT20, BPL, ILT20, that's it. Your guys are not playing the Big Bash, your guys are not playing 100. That means your cricket is under decline, and it is shown that. I mean, the way we are performing, it's a really concern sign for me. Usman Khan question, I was the one who actually supported him a lot, and I said that he needs to be the part of Pakistan because he was performing really well in the domestic structure, and especially even in the Pakistan Super League. But I later
Hold
realized
on
one
right
thing,
now.
and it is
Let me ask a question. You talked about Usman Khan playing in the domestic structure. Which domestic structure are you talking about?
see the T20, not the 51 I'm talking about again. I'm talking about the T20 tournament. The issue is that some players are fit for the
Playing in the
domestic
PSL.
structure. Well,
Are we talking about Usman Khan playing in the T20 as in PSL?
the PSL T20. I'm not talking about the 4-day cricket. What I'm saying is that Usman Khan, some players are basically the ones who actually are brilliant performers in domestic, who can perform very well in the league cricket. But when it comes to competitive cricket in the international cricket, they are not the ones who are actually that capable to represent internationally. It was the right time that PCB could have just shut his book and say, thank you so much for your services. You were given many chances for Pakistan. I'm sorry, you're not deserving it. Let's move on. You need to move on for the other faces. The guys who had performed in the domestic structure for you performed in the T20 domestic structure for you. But I don't know what's going on in the Pakistan Cricket Board. What agreement, unfortunately, I would say what agreement was done with Usman Khan, getting him into the Pakistan team, that how many matches or how many years will he play for Pakistan even if he does not perform. This is actually hurting Pakistan, especially the guys who are performing in domestic structure. They are being hurt. I mean, they are not getting that place in the Pakistan team because of this guys. They need to understand that he's not performing well. Thank you so much. Pakistan is initially first, man. It's not the player. Pakistan star is first. I mean, he needs to perform well. If he's performing, he's the guy. He needs to play for Pakistan. If not, thank you so much. Even if it's Babar Azam, let's to come to reality. Talking about Babar, talking about Rizwan, I don't see their places in the upcoming T20 or the next T20 World Cup because T20 is getting modernized. The strike rates are getting touched around 160, 170. You need to think about that kind of players, and literally they are struggling right now.
Oh, that's what Kunnumal was saying, that we've got some players over there who do not deserve to be in the team. Whether or not, we're going to be finding it out in New Zealand. Now let's talk about the conditions of New Zealand. We've seen that the grounds, there are certain grounds that are really small, then the wind comes into play. How is the pitch specifically when we talk about the pitches and the ground situation over there? Is it going to be far way different than what the players accustomed in Pakistan are, Kannumal?
Oh yes, of course, without any doubt. If you talk about the Christchurch, Auckland and some other venues, that you will find some bouncy tracks, and of course that if you see the pace battery of New Zealand, it's amazing. Kyle Jamieson is there, though see that they dropped Matt Henry just because of his knee injury. He didn't play, and this is what Mitchell Santner said in an interview, that we missed Matt Henry in the final of the Champions Trophy as well. But if you talk about their fast bowlers, brilliant. Pakistanis like Shaheen Jafridi, Haris Rauf, they're the part of the T20 squad. Another, we got Muhammad Ali. Everybody was talking about his some commendable performances in domestic circuit. I've watched him in 4-day games as well. He's been brilliant with his line in length, and now he got a chance. This is the best chance for Muhammad Ali, that you're going to the New Zealand, and the conditions will support to the fast bowlers. And if you're coming up with your 100%, I think you'll be the bright future for Pakistan. And considering short boundaries, see that we always enjoy these kind of when we talk about the short boundaries, the T20 games we love to watch, because the players, they used to go for the horizontal bat.
More accustomed to shorter boundaries, that's our players.
When you're playing cricket, it does not matter. Either the boundaries are shorter or longer. You'd have to give your 100%. If you're hitting maybe out of the 60...
With the captain of Pakistan having a 10 strike rate in the T20, Salman Ali Agha, we are mostly relying on shorter boundaries.
Now the question is, it's a very important point. If there is no Salman Ali Agha, then who could be the skipper of Pakistan? Could you give me an answer?
You tell me.
No, I'm asking you because you have raised this question.
Well, not Shadab Khan as the vice captain either.
Then who?
That is a question that is to be asked by the PCB right now.
That's the problem with us.
Because the chairman earlier said, before getting into the Champions Trophy, that fortunately or unfortunately, these are the 15 that we have. And then we don't have a pace battery, and we had our issues in the bowling, and the batting department was never really there anyway.
You brought Khushdil Shah in Champions Trophy, where he only represented 10 times in ODIs. And you brought him, and Aqib Javed said in a press conference that some other players, they didn't have much experience in ODIs. That's why we brought Shadab Khan.
Aqib ball has somewhat failed, and we knew what Jason Gillespie had to say about him. Coming back to Owais now. Owais, looking at the T20 squad of New Zealand, they've got Michael Bracewell as the captain. Finn Allen is there, Mark Chapman, Jacob Duffy, Zach Folkes, Mitch Hay, Matt Henry. Isn't he not available? Anyway, Kyle Jamieson, Daryl Mitchell.
Matt Henry is available for this
Jimmy
series,
Neesham, Will O'Rourke, then Tim Robinson, Ben Sears, Tim Seifert, Ish Sodhi back in the side. T20s, do you think that the New Zealand side at home would have the advantage over somewhat, inexperienced Pakistani side?
It's not an inexperienced Pakistan side. It's an experienced one. If you could have gone with 5 or 6 new faces, I would have said that. It's not an experienced side. But when you talk about the New Zealanders, Chapman specifically, I would say he loves Pakistan bowlers. The way he performs against us. Then you got if you talk about the opening department, Finn Allen. So they have got some firepower. New Zealand. They will play some aggressive cricket because the grounds are small. You were even mentioning about because it's a seaming conditions. Seamer conditions for the fast bowlers. The fast bowlers even get some movement because of the green top wickets over there. So won't be easy for Pakistani batsmen, especially. I would say. I know there might be results not positive. Might be wrong, but might be the results not positive for Pakistan. But again, if you're giving chances to the youngsters, you need to stick around with them. Because this is a series where actually you tell the youngsters that play your natural game, what your natural strong point is. Just go and enjoy the game. Don't get them under pressure, because that can even spoil the career. I would say even they can spoil the performance over here. One thing you were mentioning about the domestic structure, especially of the fast bowlers, the biggest issue what Pakistan domestic has right now is that at the international levels, specifically when you talk about 4-day cricket, when you talk about 4-day cricket, why your fast bowlers are not generally coming up, it's because in domestic structure, every year you change something. It might be the teams, it might be the wickets, it might be the balls. When you talk about international structure, your head coach says that cut off the grass, make it a spin track, let's see what teams wins on. But when you talk about the domestic structure, when you go down in the same conditions, I would say it's a totally different kind of a format. You have got green top wickets where your medium paces are performing, batsmen are struggling. So the biggest issue what it is, when a youngster, specifically a fast bowler, for example, Ali Raza, who has been a brilliant under-19 fast bowler, and I remember when he was playing the domestic structure, he was performing superbly for Sialkot, and people started to call him that he would be one of the greatest test cricketer coming up. And he's a youngster, and he said that I'm a young guy, and people have started comparing me with the greats of test cricket. But when he sees at the international level, he says that there are no life for fast bowlers. Pakistan wickets are dead wickets where your spinners are dominating, where we go for the short plans. What is my future playing in a test cricket for Pakistan? That's the point where your fast bowler, especially youngster, diverts his mind towards T20 cricket, and he says that let's go to T20 because you have got a lot of T20 cricket going on around the world. Even your T20 series is more as compared to test cricket. So you don't get that kind of a long spell fast bowlers with a good pace deliveries where they can touch around 145, 146. So that's the biggest issue when we talk about domestic structure. Uh, Chairman Pakistan Cricket Board had done some superb job. It is rightly said, but he really needs to call on the guys, the selection committee, the ex-cricketers, sit with them and literally just think about the Pakistan cricket future, where it is going on. It's the biggest, I would say, the things right now going on in Pakistan cricket. Literally, I sometimes just get afraid that we might play the qualifying round for the World Cups. I mean, Pakistan cricket is not in the right direction. There are many things going on which really needs to stop. On Mohammad Yusuf being being the batting coach, he steps down after that due to some issues. I mean, literally, there is something going on which really needs to be stopped off.
There is a overhaul, and just as Mohsin Naqvi earlier mentioned, the surgery is going on, but the show must go on. And when you talk about the T20s, New Zealand and Pakistan, one-on-one, when they faced 44 games. 19 have been won by New Zealand and 23 have been won by Pakistan. So a very close contest that we're going to be seeing, Kunamal, in New Zealand.
Well, I strongly agree with Owais for the very first time. Whenever we used to sit, I always go against his opinions, but this time he is right that forget about the results, that what will happen, we don't care. Just try to pull out some individuals that were performing well for the Pakistan, like some new guys, Hassan Nawaz. I have heard his presser, I have watched him in domestic circuit as well. He said rightly that the management has told us that just play fearless cricket, that's it. Go and show your potential. Forget about that, either you're getting out on the first delivery, we don't drop you, we'll give you full chances. I think that's the best thing. And as earlier you were talking about the skipper, we were having this debate that who could be the good skipper for Pakistan in T20. We do not have an option. We do not have a name apart from Salman Ali Agha, because Shadab Khan for a long time, his performance was dismal in T20 or ODI, and that's why he has been dropped. Now you brought him back into the side as vice captain. I think you should have taken a new name as the vice captain. It could be any guy, Mohammad Haris, some other names. Because see, that if you want to prepare yourself for upcoming T20 World Cup, let me complete, please.
Sure.
See what happened. India won the T20 World Cup and they sent their team to the Zimbabwe for a bilateral series. They lost in the first game. Doesn't matter. They played 10 new guys. What does it mean? That you're giving confidence to the bench strength. Don't worry, it's a bilateral series. We lost T20 World Cup, we lost ODI World Cup, we lost Champions Trophy.
We lost learning.
We lost in World Test Championship. Doesn't matter if we're losing against New Zealand in bilateral series. I would love to watch the new guys like Hassan Nawaz, like Omar bin Yusuf, like Sufyan Muqim, if they're performing well for Pakistan.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, both of you think that it doesn't matter whether you perform or not in the T20s. The career record of Salman Ali Agha is evident, 10 average. He still is the captain. What does it take to be the captain of Pakistan in the T20s?
We lost T20 World Cup. We lost ODI World Cup.
That doesn't answer my question.
No, I'm giving you an answer. I'm giving an answer. Just calm down. Who has stepped down from the management? No one. So why you're just pushing your all pressure on the team, on the players? No. Yes, who has taken the wrong decisions? The players, they have taken the wrong decisions. Who has taken the wrong decisions?
Okay,
who is the responsible?
So you're not putting
the responsible?
You're not putting it on Salman Ali Agha, but you're accepting the fact that he hasn't played well in the T20s. Yet again, he's become the captain of the team.
I'm saying this is the first time that you're bringing him as the skipper in T20s, right? In the earlier, who was the skipper? Of course, Mohammad Rizwan. Now you are promoting a guy who is good in Test cricket, who is performing well in ODIs. Let's try him in T20s because you do not have an option.
So we are just going to be trying each and every...
I have asked this question.
Why Salman Ali Agha each and every single time? I mean, okay, fine. Given the fact that
Who
we
else?
don't have
Who else?
another Mohammad Haris.
Mohammad Haris, see his T20 career. He
Yeah.
wasn't the part in ODIs. He wasn't the part in. See, he wasn't the part in Test cricket.
Yeah.
If you're talking
No,
about,
we're talking about different formats of the game, Kunnumal. Let's come to Mohammad Owais. Owais, your take on this?
See, I would agree one thing with Asif. The thing which he was mentioning right now regarding Salman Ali Agha. I know that his performance, like if you talk about his average, is around 10 or 11 in the T20s. I mean, but the thing is that if you just go throughout the Pakistan circuit right now, what I personally feel is that Haris could have been a great choice because he's captain Pakistan. Even in the Pakistan Shaheens, he's performed well. I don't know why he was. He's not the part of the Pakistan limited overs. But when you talk about Salman Ali Agha, he's shown some character. But the biggest issue that what we need to understand is that, see, I know we love Pakistan team. I mean, even if they lose, I know we do spit out anger, whatever it is. But after some hours or some minutes or some day, again we start loving them. If they win the New Zealand series, believe me, everyone will forget what happened in the Champions Trophy. But the issue is that players go through a lot of scrutiny. The problem is from the management. The management needs to be accountable. No one asks the management. I remember even in this show, even Asif bhai could even correct me on. Ahmad was sitting and I said the same thing. I said, Ahmad bhai, it's a challenge. When a team loses, a coach never comes and has a press conference. It's the captain who faces the media, who faces the pressure. Coach never comes in. If you lose the series, coach won't be accountable. The captain would be accountable. Whatever is going on behind the set, the coach, the selectors who have selected the team, given to the captain, they won't be accountable. And it is, I mean, after the Champions Trophy, rightly pointed, tell me which management guy did was answerable for that. Did the selection committee, did anyone speak to them? What team you had selected? Look at the performance, what it is. I mean, just a dip from Pakistan. Pakistan team
Right.
played the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup. They played
Right,
the
Abbas,
finals.
Abbas, we've been joined by our senior cricket expert and the first female commentator, Leena Moin Aziz. Welcome to the show, Leena. A lot of criticism on the current team, the T20 team that has been established for Pakistan's tour of New Zealand. Salman Ali Agha as the captain, Shadab Khan coming from nowhere as the vice captain, not performing, not proving himself either. Shaheen Shah Afridi being there, Sufyan Muqim and Usman Khan coming from the parachute that he is. Have your take on the team, and does it have it in them just to go there and perform, or are we just waiting for Pakistan to somehow make sure that one of the players performs and then we make him aside and then come back home and then restructure the whole team?
Ahson, the thing is that this is a very knee-jerk reaction after what happened to Pakistan team during the Champions Trophy. It was a dismal performance, and then, how we are, our selection committee, our cricket board doesn't know how to react. The best way they can react is that, drop a few players, bring in totally new players. Some of them, they're actually hoping that some of them might perform and, win a couple of matches in New Zealand, and then the criticism at home would be less on them. So it is just like a lottery. They don't know what's going to happen. They're just taking chances. It's just a very knee-jerk reaction, like I said. So it is a very unknown quantity. The players are very unknown quantity. We don't know how they're going to do. And like you said, Shadab Khan coming from nowhere and then being named as the vice captain. I mean, I don't see that happening anywhere else in the world. But we'll have to see. Maybe some of the young guns might do well. They might have that kind of spirit in them where they want to be heroes given the opportunities. So you never know. Some of the young players might just do it for Pakistan. But if you talk about the cricket board, it's a very, very knee-jerk reaction.
Let's talk about the average that we've been talking about. Salman Ali Agha, does he qualify to be the captain of the T20 team given that he has a 10 average in the T20s? Both of my guests do not agree on that. Probably the criteria is somewhat different.
What happens is that we are renowned for naming the wrong player in the wrong format. We've always done that. Like if it's a test player, we'll name him in the T20. If it's a T20 player, he'll be in the one-day squad. In Salman Ali Agha's case, he's a very good test player and a one-day player. So I agree with you. I don't see him doing really well in the T20 format. I mean, he is a good leader. I can see that when he's standing in the slips, he's got those leadership qualities. But then, he's not in the right format. So just putting extra pressure on him and perhaps even destroying his career. So what happens is that he doesn't do well in the T20. He'll be brought from the test matches and the one days. So I believe that he should have been, he can be the one day captain, but then we've recently named Rizwan as captain, so we can't just drop him after one or two bad performances, and that's the case in my opinion.
That's what we actually did, Leena. We dropped Rizwan from the T20 captainship. And then let's come to the ODI squad, because right after that, we've got 3 ODIs to play with the New Zealand team. Mohammad Rizwan being the captain over there, Salman Ali Agha being the vice captain, and then Abdullah Shafiq, Abrar Ahmad, Akif Javed, and Babar Azam, Fahim Ashraf from Parachute being there, Imamul Haq, Khushdil Shah, Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Wasim Jr. back in, Muhammad Irfan Khan there, and Naseem Shah, Sufyan Makeem, Tayyib Tahir. You think comparatively, this is a more mature team that we've put in for the T20s?
Oh, absolutely. A one-day team is much maturer. We've got some really good players. Rizwan is a very good player. He's a good leader. I'm a big fan of Rizwan as a leader. So I think you're absolutely right. There's some very good young talent. Mukeem is there, of course. Tayyib Tahir, I'm a big fan of. So this is a much better team, no doubt about this. But the one day, I mean, the T20 team, I mean, I don't know what they've done.
Well, T20 is the thing that we're specifically focusing on, because the T20 World Cup is coming up next. The one day is all over now. It's going to be all focused on that. Thank you very much for joining us, Leena. And Kundumal, coming back to you. Now the ODI format, just as I mentioned, a maturer team with Mohammad Rizwan being there, Salman Ali Agha being there again, and in a different role, the vice captain's role. And then we see the likes of Sufyan Mukeem and Tayyib Tahir being there. Are they going to be rested yet again, or they're going to be playing?
Well, I think you should have rested Babar Azam instead of these youngsters, and that because Babar Azam is not performing well for a long time. And same with the Mohammad Rizwan. People were talking about, if you see his average, he's averaging so well. And he won a series against Australia in Australia, and they're beaten in the leadership of Rizwan, South Africa in South Africa. So yes, these are the positive points. And see, this this ODI squad, definitely you found some new name. But the problem is that if they're not in T20 squad, these guys like
they won't be accustomed to the conditions, right?
No, I'm not saying this. Are they playing National T20 Cup or not? That's the question point for me. Either Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam and Naseem Shah, will they participate in the National T20 Cup? Because all of these 3 players will be the part of T20 World Cup, will be the part of squad of the
Tentatively?
Pakistan. Yes, of course, because see, I don't find any replacement so far. I do not find any replacement for Mohammad Rizwan so far. Yes, we have a very brilliant guy, Hasibullah, but nobody's taking his name. Nobody's talking about...
You've seen him perform in the PSLs as well, man.
See, you have watched him in PSL. I have watched him in List A career. I have watched him in domestic cricket, averaging more than 50. I'm talking so much about Hasibullah, but nobody's taking his name. He's a genuine talent. He's a genuine wicketkeeper batter. But the problem is that when Mohammad Rizwan is there, you cannot take any other name. If you're taking name like Usman Khan, then if Usman Khan could make a place in the squad of T20 or ODI, then why not Hasibullah? So these are the little mistakes we're making again and again. And the guy who always talks about that learn or win, he doesn't learn that what's going on with the Pakistan cricket.
It's about time that we should give chances to all the emerging players, and then so that it's a 10-year window probably, and that's where it really matters.
Maybe 5 years window.
Okay, in the T20 format, maybe 5 years window. In the ODIs, it's a bit longer.
In 5 years, maybe you will play 2 T20 World Cups. So might be if a player who's not performing well for the couple of T20 World Cups, then of course that he doesn't deserve. And if someone is performing so well in T20s, in an ICC wins, then he'll get more chances. Let's take an example of neighboring country, Surya Kumar Yadav, that he was performing so well. And then the way, as Rohit Sharma said that I won't be the part of T20 circuit, and I'm stepping down on a very high note where the team is the world champion in T20 World Cup. They have a very young, talented guy, Surya Kumar Yadav. So why we do not learn even from the neighbors, dear?
We need to learn from each and every single team, I guess, and their captains
Learn
as well.
from Rachin Ravindra.
Absolutely.
Learn from Rachin Ravindra.
Let me take you towards Abbas. We might learn a thing or two from Abbas as well. So Abbas, coming back to the ODI teams, you heard what Leena had to say, you heard what Kundumal had to say. Mohammad Rizwan leading from the front, a more maturer team with Salman Ali Agha as the vice captain in the ODI format. You think that we're going to be performing really better in the ODIs as compared to the T20s going in New Zealand, the Kiwis' home grounds?
Yeah, first I just want to ask what's Kunumal? I mean, a new name of Asif. I never heard of it. Kunumal, a new name. But when you talk about the Pakistan New Zealand ODI side, I mean, obviously Pakistan, I would say again, would be under pressure. What happened in the Champions Trophy, then the pressure what Pakistan cricket is feeling right now. I mean, because even you talk about the practice session which was being held at LCCA before traveling to New Zealand, and many of them criticized, even the spectators, I would say, criticized the Pakistan team when they were having a session in Lahore, because I did watch that in LCCA. So unfortunate scenarios were going on. So they would be under pressure. But looking at the track record, what Pakistan has produced in New Zealand, Pakistan have been great in the New Zealand series. I mean, but when you talk about the squad of Pakistan ODI cricket specifically, I would say I'm happy to have Irfan Khan Niazi back in the squad, because he's the one. I don't know why was he dropped off the squad. I mean, because he consistently, when I remember he debuted for Pakistan, even I said that it's quite too early for him to debut for Pakistan, but slow and steady, the way gradually he has just modernized his cricket, and the fitness what he shows in the fielding, he's a full package what Pakistan needs. So good sign to watch him over here. Rizwan as a captain would be feeling that pressure, because in the Champions Trophy what performance Pakistan had, obviously he would want the win over here from New Zealand to ease down everything. So all the best to the Pakistan. But again, I'm telling you, if you guys want the youngsters to play, let them play with a brave heart. I mean, because you're preparing for the future talent. So it's the right time. You need to have some backup players. I always have a strong feeling that when your bench lineup is strong, always your playing 11 would be strong. So you really need to focus on the bench.
I would agree with you when you say you need to have some backup players, but most of the time they've been kept on the bench and not being played. This has been witnessed in the recent Champions Trophy as well. So, I mean, you talked about Mohammad Irfan Khan being there. I'd love if he'd play, not sit on the bench.
See, that's the thing I said on. I mean, because I would definitely want the players to play in the playing 11, because like I told you, my feeling is that when you have a strong bench lineup, automatically playing 11 is strong, but that bench lineup needs to play, because what we do is that the bench lineup sitting from past 5 or 6 months and they're inducted into the team when it's a do and die situation. That's a false thing with the player too, because he's psychologically very under pressure when it comes to that top matches, I would say.
You've also played first-class cricket, Owais. When we talk about this very specific environment in the dugout, let's talk about how is it the coach's call, or is it the captain's call when one time a player doesn't play, he's coming in new, and then one time he doesn't really click, and then he keeps on sitting on the bench for the rest of the tournament?
See, it's just not the captain's call. It's a collective call. I mean, even the coach, even the captain, everyone has a collective call over here. But remember, as a youngster, when you're in a dressing room, the youngster I'm talking about who's going to debut for Pakistan, the biggest thing when you're sitting in a dressing room, he watches that player who's his favorite, who he wants to talk to. And that player actually, when he sits with him, when he just speaks to him, that creates more confidence in his mindset. I mean, the coach needs to sit out. They need to just relax the players, let them play what their natural game is. If there's pressure on a player that if you don't perform, you're going to be out of the Pakistan team, tell me how a player or a captain would perform. Pakistan cricket has such a big problem that even the captain does not know that next week will I be the captain of Pakistan or not. So that pressure actually even does not let you perform well in the top-notch cricket. I mean, so that's what Pakistan cricket really needs to think about. And again, you guys are representing Pakistan, so I hope you win the series. All the best to the Pakistan team.
All the best to the Pakistan team, Mohammad Abbas. And just to inform you, Kundumal is K. Asif's first name. So for all the viewers who didn't know, Kundumal Asif is K. Asif over here, been sitting over here for the longest of time in Sports Extra. Kundumal, thank you very much. and Kunumal, along with Lina Muin Aziz, who joined us via telephone, and Mohammed Abbas, as always. Exciting to have you via Skype. Thank you, everybody, for being here on the show. Unfortunately, that's the only time that we have, and we'll be sticking with you for more news in detail about the sports that are going on all around the world, and specifically in New Zealand. The first match, T20 match, will be on the 16th of March. Stay tuned to PTV Sports for that. That's our sister network. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. It's Ahson Haqqani signing off from Sports 360. Allah Hafiz.